lot of good, but then there's some things we got to clean up. I was pleased with. We found some big plays. We were able to find some explosive plays all across the board at all positions. Still too many procedural things that we got to clean up. A couple situations in the red zone we didn't manage the right way. We finished one 2-minute scenario pretty good, and then the other 2-minute scenario we didn't finish the way we needed to do. So there's a lot of positive, but then there's also a lot for us to coach every position.
Did Travis do a little bit better on his pass protection today?
No, I have to look because I'm caught up in calling plays, but I don't remember any of the backs specifically giving up a sack, which is an area that we got to really improve from last season. I'm pretty sure there's going to be some technical issues. In terms of Travis, it was good to see Travis show up from an explosiveness standpoint. He made some runs and he looked like Travis, and that's a big challenge with him. Is just going to be consistent. Can he do it every single day, and then can he improve in the area of pass protection the way he needs to improve? So I was pleased with his day today.
How about the quarterbacks? How did they look?
Man, they all look good. I mean, all of them had an opportunity to lead touchdown drives. It's hard for me to tell who's throwing what, who's doing what, because I'm on the next play trying to figure out when Brent's going to bring that safety blitz. But, man, we got 4 guys that are, competing their butts off. All of them are good enough for us to win a lot of games with. And I'm excited just to get on the film and really break it down.
The other day, Jeff was saying that Trevor he shows a lot of patience and kind of absorb things really good. Do you see the same thing when you do watch him?
Yeah, no question. And that's probably the thing that with him is just his calm demeanor. I think the way that y'all see him every single day, that's the same way he is in the pocket. And he's got just a natural pocket presence that you just can't coach. And the special ones, they have that. And, today was an opportunity, and I told him, I kind of kidded with him. I said, now it's for real. We're in the stadium. We're on the grass. Coaches are off the field. You're on your own. And he just kind of said, I'm ready, Coach. And I'm anxious to get in there and see, because I know there were some situations with all the quarterbacks, not just Trevor, but with all of them that they probably wish they had a play or two back, and that's going to be the fun part of getting in and challenge those guys and see how they respond.
Did Hunter get a go today?
Hunter Johnson. Oh, yeah. All 4 of them went, yep.
Were you pleased with the tempo today, and how noticeably different is it when Trevor's in there?
From a tempo standpoint, he's still trying to learn to drive, and that's one thing that we really challenge all of the quarterbacks is quarterback drive the tempo. So as soon as the whistle is blown, you're already with your eyes to the side, and you're herding the cattle, in the direction to get back on the ball. Tempo wasn't where it needed to be in between plays. I think that we did a good job of finding some opportunities to have some of our tempo plays going, but in between plays, just the last 2 practices is not what it's been prior to leaving. And again, the guy's been off for a week, and that's an opportunity for us to coach. But from a tempo standpoint, we had 91 plays. We did some good things from a tempo standpoint, but just in between plays, that's an area where we're going to coach these guys hard.
At first glance, did you see improvement from the first scrimmage to the second scrimmage?
I did. We were able to like I said, find some explosive plays, down the field, and we were able to sustain some drives. We did a little bit better in short yardage. We had a little goal line scenario where I thought we did good with both groups. So definitely some improvement, but still just too many small things. And a lot of it is experience too. You got some new guys in new spots that aren't used to the tempo, the intensity when you get to a scrimmage, and it's going to be a great film to coach off of.
What are the biggest differences that you can already start to see comparing last year and this year?
The biggest differences?
Yes.
It's still hard to tell, but I think the guys are taking ownership of the areas where we want to improve. We got to continue to get better in short yardage. Red zone is an emphasis, and I think tempo. So I think overall, everybody's bought into the tempo, but it's just a function of every single day. There's got to be a certain mentality and mindset to actually execute the tempo. So I like the direction we're going in from a tempo standpoint, and I also like just the chemistry, of this offensive unit right now.
Would any of the receivers stand out today?
Cordell Powell, showed up today and made a couple plays. Made a big play down the field. Also made a big play on a 3rd down off of a conversion, that extended a drive. I thought T showed up, down the field. He finished a 2-minute drive the way we wanted to with a big play to finish up there. Those were the 2 that really stood out. And today was more about evaluation and not necessarily trying to win the scrimmage, but putting some guys in some tough situations. And, man, we really, really challenged those boundary receivers, in Travion and DeAndre and also T, with just on some of those intermediate passing game concepts, because I feel like we got 2 of the best corners in the country that are really, really challenging these guys. And so that was an area where those guys are going to see the tape and see that they got an opportunity to improve.
Obviously no fans today, but how beneficial is it to get freshmen like Jackson Carman in this environment?
Oh, no, it's critical. That's why we do it, because, it's one thing when it's practice and it's controlled and coaches are on the field. But now when you get out in the valley and there is a little bit of distraction, there is the coaches on the sideline, nobody out there to help. It's critical when you can get those young guys acclimated to our environment. And then the spring game will be another opportunity when the fans are there. And so the first time that they don't walk out is a situation that might be pretty intimidating with the spring game crowd.
Speaking of spring game, what is the biggest focus that you tell your guys to stay?
Compete. We got to compete because the teams are going to be mixed up, and coach has a lot of fun with that. And guys may not be playing next to the same guy that they were all spring, and now you got some new dynamics. And so just go out there and compete, and let's make sure that we don't use those as excuses to distract us from executing on the level we need to.
Is Jackson still at tackle, or is he?
I saw Jackson in their guard, a little bit today, and Caldwell is working that, and that's tough on an offensive lineman too, especially man when you're going from tackle to guard. It's a different stance. I mean, it's a totally different world. But I tell you what, I've been impressed with him too, with his ability to absorb and just his demeanor. He comes to work every day. You don't hear anything out of him, and then you see flashes of his potential.
Did you make it out healthy today?
As far as I know, I don't remember anybody going down significant. I'm sure we're going to have some bumps and bruises, and we'll find out, after those guys get into the training room tonight and then tomorrow.
People talk about Trevor and Hunter, but how did KB and Chase look?
Like I said, all four of them are doing great. Kelly just continues to be Kelly, and you can tell that he's the most veteran guy. He does the little things, that some of the young guys are trying to learn how to do, and that's just what keeps him in the position that he's in, and it's making those other guys better too. And so you notice, and then the component that's really good for him is he can't use his legs in the scrimmage because they're not live, and so now he has to really go work on the things of commanding the offense and driving the tempo, and then Chase, Chase gets in there, man, and he's got that moxie to him. He's just got that it factor. Now there's going to be some opportunities where he's trying to do too much, and that's where you always gotta err on the side of bringing those guys along at the right speed and not giving them too much, because then now they're thinking too much and getting themselves into tougher situations than they need to be in.